Well, hey there, welcome back. It's Bobi, aka Paginator, and I'm here today with my April TBR. Where has the time gone? I know. Month of April, I am going to be doing G from Book Roast's Magical Readathon, but I am going to try to just match up prompts with what I get through the game that we're playing today. If you haven't watched my TBR in a while, I have been playing using G's TBR Avatar board and cards and things, and I do 5 regular rolls that are must-dos or must-reads, and then 5 bonus rolls, and if I complete all 10 prompts, then I get to buy books. So we are just going to get right to the rolls. Alright, it's time to dive into rolls, and here we go. We rolled 1. Boom. Slow down is what it says. Okay, well, this tells me that slow down means take one book out of this month's TBR. Alright, so for roll number 1, we got slow down, take a book out of your TBR. And I think I'm just going to use this as a mood read, and whatever I'm in the mood to read, I can count that as one done on the TBR. Roll number 2. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we've got the swirly twirly arrow. Basically, this means we re-roll and keep moving onward. 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here we have the element arrows. So here we have to either spin a wheel or do a random number generator for air, fire, water, and earth, and then read a book that fits with that element. Okay, so what I've done is set up a random number generator for numbers 2 through 8. And I'm sorry, you can see the reflection of the camera in here. This is what we're dealing with. I'm going to assign 2, 4, 6, 8 to air, fire, water, and earth respectively. So I'm going to hit this 1, 2, 3 times, and it gives us the number 2. So that is air. Okay, so roll number 2 brought us the element triangles, and I got air based on my random number generator. And what I'm going to do this month is give myself choices. There will be 2 or 3 books for each category, and that way I won't feel so stifled and like I'm stuck like I did last month with my TBR. Last month things did not go well. So, choices. I have 2 possibilities for this choice. One is an ebook that I have through NetGalley, and it is Alone Out There by Riley Redgate. It is a sci-fi tale, and I don't know a whole lot about it other than it's set in space, and even though there's not really oxygen in space, space is like you have to fly through the oxygen in the sky to get there, so I thought that might count for air. And then the other one that I have is Keeper of the Last Cities. This is the first book in the series by Shannon Messenger, and this is about Sophie, who has the ability to hear the thoughts of everyone around her. And so I thought that fit with air because it kind of feels like maybe the thoughts are floating around in the air and her ears pick them up, kind of a thing. So I thought, sure, that would count. I guess I could tell you a little bit more about the story. So Sophie is able to hear other people's thoughts, and she feels like it makes her an outcast even in her own family. But one day she meets Fitz, who is a mysterious boy who just kind of appears out of nowhere, and he can also read minds. There is a place that she does belong, and staying where she is will put her in grave danger. So pretty soon she's forced to leave behind everything and start a new life in a place that is very different from her own. Roll number 3. 1. Cabbage Pot. Oh boy. Okay, so roll number 3 is Cabbage Pot, and in the spirit of giving myself choices, I'm going to be pulling 3 titles from the Cabbage Pot, or bag, as it were. Here is my lovely Ziploc bag, aka Cabbage Pot, and the first title we are going to pick is, what is that? I know you guys can't see that very well. Nemesis, Project Nemesis #1 by Brennan Reichs. Second one, we have Belle Morte by Bella Higgin. And then the third one is Written in the Stars #1 by Alexandria Bellefleur. So it turns out that I don't have the Belle Morte book anymore. I haven't updated my Cabbage Pot bag in a little bit, so we're going to draw again. I do have the other 2 books, just not that one, so we'll pull out another one just to give myself plenty of options. And this one is The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare. I know I have that one, and I know exactly where it is. Alright, so I'll tell you a little bit about each one of these books. The Bane Chronicles is a collection of short stories or short pieces that fit with the Shadowhunter world, and they're stories about Magnus Bane and his travels throughout time and places, the loves and losses of his life. And this actually will fit one of my prompts for the Magical Readathon, so I might pick this one, but again, it depends on my mood. Then we have Written in the Stars. Alexandria Bellefleur is the author, and this is an LGBT romance, a female-female romance, and it is a spin on Pride and Prejudice. In this book, we have tropes like hate to love and fake dating. Our main characters, Darcy and Elle, who represent Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth, of course, from Pride and Prejudice. We know eventually they're going to fall in love because that's how these stories work. Am I still going to read it? Yes. And then Nemesis by Brennan Reichs. The tagline says, "He killed me not, he killed me." This says, "It's been happening every year since Min was 8. Every 2 years on her birthday, a strange man finds her and murders her in cold blood. But hours later, she wakes up in a clearing just outside her tiny Idaho hometown, alone, unhurt, and with all evidence of the horrifying crime erased. Across the valley, Noah just wants to be like everyone else, but he's not. Nightmares of murder and death plague him, though he does his best to hide the signs. But when the world around him begins to spiral toward panic and destruction, Noah discovers that people have been lying to him his whole life. Everything changes in an eye blink. There is also an enormous asteroid threatening all life on Earth, and we have these two teenagers trying to deal with their chaotic lives." So, out of these 3 books, which one would you pick to read? Which one should I pick to read? What do you think? Roll number 4. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sneak peek. So this is where you read a book from someone else's TBR. Roll number 4, got a sneak peek, someone else's TBR. And again, I want to give myself choices. So from Books with Emily Fox, we have the possibility of reading Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. This book came out a couple of years ago, and you can see I got it from Target. The sticker's still on there. If you guys have any good ways to get stickers off of books without damaging the covers, let me know, because sometimes they can be tricky. This is about a girl named Enchanted Jones, and it says she wakes with blood on her hands and 0 memories of the previous night. No one, the police and Corey Fields fans included, has more questions than she does. All she really knows is that this isn't how things were supposed to be. Corey was Enchanted's ticket to stardom. So Enchanted is an inspiring singer, and this Corey Fields guy is like supposedly mentoring her along the way. There have been many parallels between this book and what's that jerk face's name? I almost said a bad word. R. Kelly, and the way that he would pretend to mentor, or is still continuing to do this, mentor young singers, and really he's abusing them. So I don't know that the author meant it to reflect that same story, but there are similarities here. So did she kill this guy? If she did, he probably deserved it, let's be honest. But anyway, that's one of my options. And then for a second option, I went to Gavin's TBR playlist, and in the March TBR, there wasn't anything that I had, and I wasn't going to go buy books for this. But then in February, he was going to read the next book in the Adventures on Train series, and I have the first book in that series, so we're going to count this. This is The Highland Falcon Thief. It is the first in a series by M.G. Leonard and Sam Sedgman, and they all feature crimes or mysteries that happen on a train. It is a middle grade series, and it says 11-year-old Harrison Halbeck is forced to accompany his travel writer uncle on the historic last journey of a royal train. He expects a boring trip spent away from video games and his friends, but then Hal spots Lenny, a girl who should not be on board, and he quickly makes friends with the stowaway. Things get even more interesting when the royal prince and princess board for the last leg of the journey. The princess's diamond necklace was stolen and replaced with a fake. Suspicion soon falls on the one person who isn't supposed to be on the train, Lenny. So it's up to Hal to clear his friend's name and find out who took the necklace. I've heard nothing but good things about this series, so I'm excited to get to this, whether it's this month or another time, I don't know, but I'm really excited about this one. Roll number 5. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dragon dance? Dragon something? Okay, so a dancing dragon means that I read a book digitally on Kindle or otherwise. I can definitely handle that. Okay, so number 5 is read a book digitally, and for each of these, I'm going to tell you the title and author of some of the arcs that I have on my NetGalley shelf. I won't be doing plot summary, but I will place a picture in the corner so you can see what they look like. So I will be choosing from Lark and the Wild Hunt by Jennifer Adam, Cafe con Leche by Emery Lee, and Frizzy by Clarabelle A. Ortega. Alright, so now we're getting into the bonus rolls. Here is roll number 6. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 3, so I have to go back 3. 1, 2, 3. Cabbage pot. Alright, so we're going for the cabbage pot bag again, and once again we're going to be pulling 3 titles for me to choose from. Oh boy, this always scares me. So our first one is Danielle by Vivian Sherfrance. This is from a series that was like really popular, or I don't know if it was even popular, but it was around in the school library when I was a teenager. And yeah, I'll grab it in a minute, but yeah. Next we have The Beast Player by Nahoko Uihashi. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. I am so sorry. And our third choice is Hunted by the Sky, which is the first book in a series by Tanaz Bathena. Again, I'm sorry. Alright, so here is Danielle by Vivian Sherfrance. All of this series was like historical romance geared toward teenagers. Every time we have the heroine on the cover, and then we have 2 guys in the background, and there used to be a secret to finding out which one she'd ended up with, but I don't remember what that was. I found this at a used bookstore or a thrift store or something and grabbed it because I wanted to like get some nostalgic feelings, I suppose. So Danielle is set in 1814 in New Orleans, and she helps Joffrey, a young pirate, escape from her family's plantation and the authorities. She is, of course, drawn to him. He is very dashing, has this dangerous lifestyle, but she is engaged to Paul, who's also but she is engaged to Paul, who is handsome and sweet, and she gets this kind of chance for something more than this predicted lifestyle when the pirate kidnaps her and holds her for ransom. So she has to decide between a comfortable life with Paul or adventure as a pirate queen. I am guessing she's going to be choosing the pirate guy. I don't know. We shall see. Alright, and then we have The Beast Player, again by Nahoko Uihashi, translated by Kathy Hirano. And this is about Elin. Elin's family has an important responsibility caring for the fearsome water serpents that form the core of their kingdom's army. So when some of the creatures mysteriously die, Elin's mother is sentenced to death as punishment. With her last breath, she manages to send her daughter to safety. Alone and far from home, Elin soon discovers that she can communicate with both the terrifying water serpents and the majestic flying beasts that guard her queen. This skill gives her great power, but it also involves her in deadly plots that could cost her life. Can she save herself and prevent her beloved beasts from being used as tools of war, or is there no escaping the terrible battles to come? I remember I picked this up at Barnes & Noble a couple of years ago. I know, I buy too many books. And the third cabbage pot choice is Hunted by the Sky, Tanaz Bathena. Again, I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong. The tagline says, "The sky will fall, a star will rise." Gull has spent her life running. She has a star-shaped birthmark on her arm, and in the kingdom of Ambar, girls with such birthmarks have been disappearing for years. Gull's mark is what caused her parents' murder at the hand of King Lohar's ruthless soldiers and forced her into hiding to protect her own life. So when a group of rebel women called the Sisters of the Golden Lotus rescue her, take her in, and train her in the warrior magic, Gull wants only one thing: revenge. That does sound quite interesting. Okay, so once again, I'm holding up the 3 choices of this round of Cabbage Pot for you. Which one would you pick? Which one should I pick? Tell me in the comments below. Roll number 7. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are pulling a card for the first time this game. Can you believe it took us this long? Alright, so I've got a whole bunch of cards here that I have not used since beginning to play this game. And this one says, yep. Yay, keep this card and use it on the next one that you'd like to redraw. Okay, but I still need a prompt for this roll, so I'm going to draw again. And we have Boomy. Read a book you've heard that is a tad odd. Okay. Okay, roll number 7 got us the card Boomy. A book you've heard is a tad odd. Now, I grabbed 2 books that I thought could be interpreted as odd. I don't honestly have the desire nor the time to search up and see if anyone else thinks they might be a bit odd. So we're just going to go with the 2 that I have found. So we have Maya and the Rising Dark by Rina Baren. And this is about 12-year-old Maya. This is a middle grade novel. She is dreaming about summer break in her Southside Chicago neighborhood when she witnesses the color bleed from the world. She's the only one who sees it, and the other weird occurrences like the were hyenas stalking the streets at night. Color leaving the world, were hyenas? I mean, maybe this is going to be a bit odd. There might be a possible ghost uprising here, a lunchroom pudding experiment gone wrong, but her father goes missing and she is thrust into a world that is both strange and familiar as she tries to uncover the truth as to what is going on. And then my other possible one is Wings of Ebony by J.L. This is one that talks about character Rue. She has a big family and lives in Houston, and her family's kind of her world, but Mom's is murdered and Rue is snatched away by a father who abandoned her at birth. The father is insisting that she follow him to his home Gizan, a secret country of gods who wield a powerful magic. So we're going from probably contemporary realistic setting to something very magical, and in this place her very existence is a crime. There has never been a half god, half human there, and things are going to go down. She's going to do something wrong according to the laws of this place, and she will be in danger. So again, some things that could be interpreted as a little bit odd, but I don't know. We shall see. And I've been pointing this out on the Cabbage Pot rolls, but for all of these that I'm giving myself options for, like, feel free to comment in the space below if you've read any of these, or if you think, oh, you should definitely choose this one, and so on. Ultimately, it will be my choice because, as I said, March was a struggle and I want to give myself some freedom, but I definitely will take you guys' opinions into consideration. Roll number 8. 6 again. Burnout. Okay, so burnout basically means that for every roll going forward, I have to have the numbers that I move. So, for example, this would be 3 spaces because 6 divided by 2 is 3. If I rolled an odd number, say a 5, then I would round down. So half of 5 is 2.5. Rounding down, I would move 2 spaces. However, I do need a prompt for this book, or for this roll. So we're going to pull another card, and we are going to get Leaves on the Vine. Read a book you think will be sad, or a book that has leaves on the cover. Rule number 8 brought us Leaves on the Vine, a book you think will be sad or has leaves on the cover. So I went for the leaves on the cover thing, and I have 2 books that came in recent subscription boxes. We have a Forgery of Roses by Jessica S. Olsen, and Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sulin Tan. Now, in the unboxings for these, I did go fully into the plot and what they're supposed to be about, so I'm just going to refer you to those other videos, or you can look these books up on your own if you're interested. This one is more spooky, and this one seems more magical, although there's definitely magic in this one. So, again, it just depends on what mood I'm in when it's time to address this prompt. Roll number 9. 6 again, but I have to divide that by 2, so I'll be moving forward 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Drawing another card. Pandao, Piandao. Read a book with a 1-word title. Roll number 9 brought us Piandao, I think is how you say it, a 1-word title. So I have 3 choices here. I have Furia. This is by Yamil Said Mendez. And this is a contemporary story about a female soccer player, and you can see here it has won the Pure Belle Prey Award, and it is part of Reese Witherspoon's YA book club. And I have 2 books from my most recent haul video. This is Bruised, about a girl who gets involved with roller derby and likes to bruise herself to take away the pain of some of the other things going on in her life. And then we have Shadow Gas, which is the 3rd title in the Irion Sea series by Thomas Taylor. Alright, this is roll number 10, our last roll. And we have 4, divided in half is 2, 1, 2. We are almost into the Avatar state. I'm okay that I'm not reaching it this time because usually, in the tradition of this game anyway, it means a book haul and I don't need to buy any more books this month. One more card to pull. I do still have the Yip Yip I can redraw if I wish to. This says, Boomerang, a book you keep seeing everywhere. I think I'm going to keep this one, so I'll hang on to that Yip Yip to play with another time. And finally, roll number 10. We have Boomerang, a book you keep seeing everywhere. So I have 2 choices for this one. One is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. It's been all over BookTube and Bookstagram, and I don't know about BookTok because I'm not on TikTok, but yeah, it's been all over the place. And again, I did talk about this in my previous haul. And the other one that I have been seeing, especially on Bookstagram, but in a lot of places, is Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. I will take a quick look at the plot for this one because I don't think I've talked about this one in a video. It's about Vanja Schmidt, excuse me. She knows that no gift is freely given, not even a mother's love, and she's on the hook for one heck of a debt. Vanja, the adopted goddaughter of Death and Fortune, was Princess Giselle's dutiful servant up until a year ago. That was when Vanja's otherworldly mothers demanded a terrible price for their care, and Vanja decided to steal her future back by stealing Giselle's life for herself. The real Giselle is left a penniless nobody while Vanja uses an enchanted string of pearls to take her place. Now Vanja leads a lonely but lucrative double life as a princess and jewel thief, charming nobility while emptying their coffers to fund her great escape. Then one heist away from freedom, Vanja crosses the wrong god and is cursed to an untimely end, turning into jewels stone by stone for her greed. Vanja has just 2 weeks to figure out how to break her curse and make her getaway, and with a feral guardian half-god, Giselle's sinister fiancé, and an overeager junior detective on Vanja's tail, she'll have to pull the biggest grift yet to save her own life. So, sorry for the stumbling over the words. Sometimes I suck. Anyway, that will be my other choice for roll number 10. Wow, I have a monstrous pile of books. How am I going to take the thumbnail for this video? While I'm figuring that out, I am going to sign off here and wish you a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading. Adios.